Okay, so yes, I'm going to have this discussion, and I'm really not going to try to make this controversial talking about Starfield and Star Citizen. I have almost 90 hours in Starfield. I've experienced a little bit of everything, and there's a lot of things that I really love about Starfield. But there's a lot of things that, as I play Starfield, knowing, yes, it's an RPG, it's not an MMO, but I'm just going to point out a few things that take me back to really longing for Star Citizen. Number one, okay, I have my graphics settings on ultra. I think the graphics in this game are really awesome, especially the cities, how we have varied design styles in the different cities. But yes, Star Citizen has this as well. The other thing I really compare from Starfield to Star Citizen, Starfield has a really nice ambience of life to their settlements. I mean, the NPCs are, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Starfield or Star Citizen is not exactly there yet. We all know that. In the future, I'm sure it will be. Starfield is definitely lacking on the what I'm going to refer to as the atmospheric ambience. Star Citizen has that atmospheric ambience nailed. I mean, it does. When you're on a surface of a planet, a moon in Star Citizen, I mean, you really feel the realism. They have that nailed 100%. I'm sure in the future there might be maybe mods or changes, updates that may add these effects to Starfield. It's not a game changer for me. I love Starfield. But a lot of things really make me long for Star Citizen. Number one, there's way too many loading screens in Starfield. The biggest one I'm going to bitch about is the doors, okay? I'd really like the doors to just kind of auto open, or like in Star Citizen, where, okay, you manually open the door, but at least you don't get a loading screen every time, okay? I'm really kind of tired of that with my Starfield experience. But I also do find myself really missing the multiplayer aspect of Star Citizen when I'm running around in Starfield. What I mean is, it's so cool to be down on a planet mining, or you go to an outpost and you see other actual players there. There's always that element of, well, surprise or maybe danger. Because when you're out there in the open area, if you're not in an armistice type of zone, there's that PvP potential. Do I want PvP in a RPG? No, I want to enjoy the game the way I want to enjoy it. But Star Citizen, I understand it. That's why I like the game. Um, some other points too. Starfield shines when it comes to being able to actually make your own ships. Yes, they are not anywhere necessarily as sleek and robust and really futuristic as Star Citizen, but to me, that's still a plus over Star Citizen. Another aspect would be being able to actually build outposts. Now, I've got a few issues when it comes to outpost building on Starfield right now. Just kind of, they're kind of clunky. There's some bugs with them. That's for a different video, but it does have the outpost building potential there, to where you can actually make yourself a home anywhere you select and want to do it, providing you have the right talent tree points to build in that particular habitation. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and pop on over to Star Citizen and really just kind of take in this atmospheric ambience. Just that biggest difference that just really makes you just want to see Star Citizen jump ahead in progress and really, really succeed. Okay, now we are Star Citizen here. And I'll tell you what, Starfield is just, I mean, honestly, for me personally, it's just made my ambitions for Star Citizen like just even more. I mean, honestly, I mean, at least here, we can call an elevator. We don't get a loading screen. Now, granted, in Starfield, the elevators auto open for you. I wish a lot of the other doors would. But at least here, having to click on something, we don't get a loading screen, right? I mean, for me, the loading screen does break immersion, but man, just imagine, okay? Think how Starfield has NPCs that are just more populating areas, just walking around, they're actively doing something. I mean, imagine that in Star Citizen. And, you know, it will get to that point at some point, but it just raises my ambitions for it. And, you know, not to mention right here, right? You know, I mean, you can't deny that our gear and things that we have in Star Citizen totally stand apart from Starfield big time. Yes, Starfield's got some really cool, interesting things in it, but it still just really it gives you a craving for Star Citizen and everything that we know Star Citizen can be. I just, you know, and just the ambience too. Starfield's got some nice ambience to it in the cities and different outposts and whatnot. But remember, I was talking earlier about the atmospheric ambience. You know, that can apply to anything, whether you're inside the buildings. I think it's comparable with Starfield when you're inside the buildings in those areas. I mean, granted, we don't have the NPCs populating stuff here, really giving it that lived-in field where you really feel immersed. But of course, we do get the plus in here if there's other player characters, you know, that show up. That's something really cool for that immersion as well. Obviously, Starfield is an RPG. We're not going to have that in Starfield. But yeah, there's a lot of things that really more so and more so separate the two games dramatically. Yes, they are similar, that they are both space themed games. I said that. I stand behind that. They are similar on that point. But as I said also, I have almost 90 hours into Starfield. And there are so many elements about Starfield where I'm like, man, if Star Citizen gets this incorporated into it, which they will, this is going to be one of the greatest space-themed MMOs of all time once they get all of this stuff done. Oh my God, guys. Try to keep this non-controversial. I know some people aren't going to agree with certain things, but I've played Star Citizen for a few years, and I've experienced a little bit of everything in Starfield. There's a lot more to go, but I have enough experience in Starfield right now just to actually make these comparisons. And I know any of you out there that play Star Citizen and Starfield have to agree with what I'm saying. I mean, I love both games, and my ambition for Star Citizen has increased tenfold since playing Starfield. I didn't really think that was going to happen, but it did, and I hope it's happened for you guys too. Other than that, you guys keep safe out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.